Soñan. on the heat. My people are not fools on the heat. You must let my people go, so we can rule from Cape to Cairo. You must free my people's hands, so we can rule our purpose land. I wanna know who owns the land. Who wanna know who owns the land? Okay, now listen carefully. Chinese are ruling the Chinese land. Japanese ruled by Japanese. England is governed by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So, Africa must be ruled by Africans. I wanna know who owns the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I said, we wanna know who owns the land. I wanna know who owns the land. Aslan, hey, Papa Aslan, Papa Aslan, Papa Aslan. It must be free. Angola want to know who owns the land. Mozambique want to know who owns the land. Namibia want to know who owns the land. I said, Soweto want to know who owns the land. Zimbabwe want to know who owns the land. African freedom fighters want to know who owns the land. Papa Slam. Now listen to the history. We've been here since creation. We've been here since creation. What else do I know? Since the time of sun and sand. Since the time of moon and stars. Since the time of air and seas. Since the time of men and things. We must run from Cape to Cairo. Okay, now I want to talk to my now we are the crossroads. On the Femo, Benda. On the Femo, Benda. Opalimu meya gbera baba. Opalimu jasu yalaka. Opalimu atizanya betonye.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are asking, we want to know who owns the land. We want to know who owns the land. The land here referring to the territory that is referred to today as the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Of course, Ambazonians know who owns it, but we want the international community, the United Nations, the AU, the EU, the United Kingdom, the French. We want to know what they think, who they think owns the land. Is it Ambazonia, Ambazonians, or Cameroon? I mean, La République du Cameroon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is what is in contention today. We have been fighting this battle for 4 years now, and we are still asking the question, and until we get an answer, we are not laying down our arms, we are not giving up, we are not surrendering. We will fight, and I don't want to say until the last man standing, not on our side, until the last man on La République du Cameroon side, if they think they can defeat us. And so, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's a pleasure to be back with you today. I hope that for those of you who are here on Facebook, you will go ahead. You will go ahead and hit your share button. Let us quickly get this started. I am having here with me today the one and only Boyo Herbert. But before I get to him, we're going to be hearing some reports from Benda, from Kumba, about what is going on there. Lots of killings in Bamenda yesterday. And I think today too we heard of some incidences happening there around Mulang. I think that's where you have the Bamenda Urban Council, or they call it City Council nowadays. So we're going to be going to ground zero to get some reports from there. And then I will talk with Ntumfon today about the chiefs. The chiefs finally leaving their asylum and going back home to the territory. We will then talk about the so-called regional elections. Regional elections, so-called, that these chiefs are indeed going back to prepare. They don't tell you they're going back to prepare for regional elections. They tell you they just want them to go back to their hometowns because they've overstayed their stay in La Republic of Cameroon. So we're going to talk about that today, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and you hit your share button. And of course, I will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is going to be a very, very exciting broadcast here. And I would like you to go ahead, hit your share button as usual. Hit your share button. The moment we hit 700, please, I will bring you the broadcast today. So please, I see the numbers are actually jumping right now as I speak. Please, if you are just joining, go ahead and hit your share button. Let every Ambazonian and African out there know the anchor man is live. Only on ABC, Amba Television, being watched all over Africa except in Morocco, in Egypt, in Tunisia, and which is another northern African country. Again, you have Tunisia, you have Egypt, you have Morocco, Algeria. You have these four countries. These are the only places in which ABC is not being watched in Africa, but everywhere else in Africa, ABC is being watched. We receive acknowledgments from Angola, from Sierra Leone, from Liberia, not to talk of Nigeria, of course, Gabon, Congo Democratic Republic, Mali, and which is this other country, Benin Republic, and then Angola, Zimbabwe also, ladies and gentlemen, everywhere, South Africa included, ABC, and Ghana, of course, too. Everywhere in Africa, you can receive ABC Amba TV, ABC Amba TV anywhere in the continent. We are also working on a mobile app so that those of you who are not in Africa, you are in Asia, you are in Europe, you are in the USA, you are in South America, you should be able eventually to receive or to have access to ABC through the mobile app that will be coming to you, I believe, this month of September. So that is coming, so that you are able to watch ABC 24/7 using your computer or using your mobile gadgets. That is what is coming up. I have a very, very important announcement that I shall be bringing to you, all of you in Africa, Africans across the globe, ladies and gentlemen, Africans across the globe. I got a very, very, very important announcement that I shall be bringing to you sometime next week. And You will be very, very excited about this. Please hit your share button. We are almost hitting 400. Hit your share button. The moment we click, we hit 700. Trust me, I will come to you with this presentation. But as I'm here, every time I come, you have to bring in the people to come on or to come on board. So please hit your share button quickly as you join so that we can delve into the issues of the day. Now, we are also dedicating this week, ladies and gentlemen, the entire week for ABC. ABC is 2 years old, 2 years old this very month of August. ABC first went live in August 2018. And today, being August 2020, ABC is clicking 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. And so we are using this opportunity, taking upon this opportunity to say, please, if you have enjoyed ABC for the past 2 years, if you have enjoyed it, if it has been a blessing to you, an inspiration and an encouragement to you, especially those of you in this struggle, we're asking you, please, to donate. Do a one-time donation, a free will donation. Some are calling it a draft. All is okay. But please, we are asking you, if you can, log on to the website, abcambatv.org, abcambatv.org. If you can log in there to make a one-time donation to ABC, we will very, very much appreciate it. That is why we are doing all these broadcasts this week, to sensitize the public and you, so you can take advantage and go online and make a one-time donation for ABC. And it is very, very important. Those of you who live in the USA know that ABC is a 501c3 non-for-profit organization, and so every dime that you donate to ABC is tax deductible, So please, before I leave this broadcast today, I will wish to have at the least, ladies and gentlemen, 5 Ambazonians who will ring the number I shall be putting on the screen to say, I am donating $1,000 to ABC. I shall be putting that number on the screen momentarily. So please, but the website is there. Thank you, the comrade, I've forgotten the name, who sent in $1,000 yesterday. I will check that up in the course of the program to give credit to the donor. But thank you, the comrade who donated $1,000 in yesterday. That came after the broadcast of yesterday. And please, I am appealing to you, go to the website, abcambatv.org, to make a one-time donation. When you get to the website, there is a menu bar on top, the right top menu bar. You will see a donation button there. Just click on that donation button, and you will be able to make a one-time tax-deductible donation if you live in the USA. Okay, but if you do not live in the USA, you want to make a $1,000 donation today. Ladies and gentlemen, please call the number that you will find on your screen momentarily to call in live. I am only accepting telephone calls that will make a live donation or pledge for ABC. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the numbers are still lacking. Those of you joining are not hitting your share button enough. Please hit your share button. So that I can bring you this presentation proper. Go ahead, hit your share button. And while you do that again, please, this broadcast is very, very important to ABC. We really want to appeal to you to support ABC. If it is only $300, go to the website, make that donation. But for those of you making a $1,000 donation, I would like you to call the number that shall be on your screen to pledge that amount, or to make that donation to be the pledge should be fulfillable between now and Sunday. So please, let's do that. Let's do that. Again, I'm waiting for you to hit the share button. While you hit the share button, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you to ground zero, precisely in Bamenda. Precisely in Bamenda, where there have been some events, there's some incidences there taking place at Mulang. They call it Mulang, where quite a number of French Cameroon soldiers were sent to visit Patrick Ekema over there, where my correspondent doesn't appear to be on the line yet. I will get back to him later. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and hit your share button. And I'd like to hear from all of you in Kumba. I would like to hear from you. If you are calling from ground zero, you must be calling in from Kumba. If you are not calling in from Kumba, I will not pick your call. I will not pick your phone. So please, go ahead and when you call, I will again, two types of calls I'm going to take today. Calls from Kumba. If you are a trader in Kumba Center Market, please go ahead and you call when the moment comes for calls. Okay, let me get to my correspondent in Bamenda. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Roland.
Good evening, Secretary, please.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing today?
We are doing fine.
Okay. Are you driving? There seems to be some noise in your background there.
Let me go away from the noise.
Okay. It doesn't sound too bad though. So move away a little bit from there.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you 5 on 5. So tell us, what is happening in Bamenda today? We learned of some attacks yesterday in Molang. Can you tell us, please, what is going on there? Or what went on there yesterday?
Yes, restoration forces visited Mulang yesterday, and French Cameroon forces recorded some casualties, but the actual number cannot be determined. We don't know yet.
Okay. So French Cameroon forces visited Molang, were in Molang, or what were they doing there?
No, restoration forces visited Mulang yesterday. They visited the army rescue as we are getting information. The reason being too that restoration forces are becoming angry because French Cameroon forces, whether the police or the military, they have taken it as a routine. Those who sell fuel by the roadside,
okay,
you know, a lot of people have involved themselves in some small commerce in order to make ends meet. So
right.
you find a lot of young guys, even young girls, selling fuel along the roadside. So on daily basis, French Cameroon police, French Cameroon military, they will come in their Land Cruiser vehicles, well reinforced, and sit inside the vehicle. And then you find these boys selling fuel, they go and give them some amount of money, minimum 1,000 francs per day. So if they take a stretch of the road, might be from City Chemist roundabout to my Fonquen, all those who are selling fuel by the roadside, they stop there, you come and give your contribution. They stop there, you come and give your contribution. So restoration forces are becoming angry about that. So imagine you are selling fuel by the roadside. On daily basis, you give 1,000 francs to the police. The military comes, you give their own share. The police come, you give their own share. Meaning per month, you are losing close to 50-something, 60-something thousand francs. How much do you make from that?
Now, where are they getting the fuel though? Because we understand that the borders in the Cock has been shut down. How do they get the fuel in? The fuel comes from Nigeria, correct?
Yes, the fuel comes from Nigeria.
How do they get it in?
That is an answer I cannot give you. I cannot give you an answer. I don't know, but you find a lot of fuel. That is what they have been doing for a very long time. So it's difficult actually to stop it. They have other routes that they use and come in.
Now, I understand that at a point in time there was no Nigerian fuel anywhere in Bamenda and even in the southern zone. Why is it bad? Is it that gas prices are not affordable, the regular prices are not affordable, or why are they importing gas from Nigeria?
Secretary Chris, that is what many people in Bamenda and even in the southern zone they do to earn a living. I can assure you that vehicles owner in the northern zone where we are right now, not up to 70% of vehicles owner in the northern zone fuel at the petrol station. Not up to 70% of them fuel at the petrol station.
Okay.
I can assure you, so even if those petrol stations are closed today, nobody is going to complain because you find government vehicles and some big officials that go to the petrol station to fuel.
Okay. So do we know how many people...
presently there is no electricity.
So do we know how many people were killed in this incident yesterday in Molang?
For French Cameroon forces, I cannot give a number, but we hear more than 2 of them were killed. And then what is happening is that at the end of the day, the military came at the rendezvous, gathered a lot of bikes, gathered a lot of vehicles, burnt them, and even burned down some houses. So we begin to wonder what kind of reconstruction is French Cameroon government preaching?
Right. So the burned down houses,
yes.
The burned down houses were in Molang?
At the rendezvous Molang, those are neighborhoods.
Okay.
Rendezvous and Molang, those are neighborhoods, just separated not up to a kilometer, or let me say a mile or something like that. The distance is not far.
Do we know about how many houses were burnt down?
For that one, I cannot tell, but houses were burnt down from the videos we have watched. And then a lot of bike riders are crying. More than 15 bikes were burnt down yesterday at the Rendezvous Junction.
And I learned they also burnt down some shops.
Those are the buildings. Buildings along roadside, you have shops, you have stores inside. So those buildings were burnt. So obviously stores too were burnt.
What is the atmosphere now in the city?
The atmosphere now in the city is a bit calm. But let me tell you, hospital runabout, travelers at Zeri, Ntarinkon, Rendezvous, those are hot areas. Restoration forces are constantly around that area. But the information I had today was that the city council did not really operate because the city council is just opposite. It's just opposite the army rescue. Because of that incident yesterday, military militarized the whole area, and even today, people could not even stroll freely in Molang. So the city council did not really operate.
Last Monday, Nkwen, there is a locality in Nkwen that hardly observes ghost towns, Monday ghost towns. But last Monday, Nkwen was completely shut down, Do we know what happened?
What we can assure you is that restoration forces, their numbers seem to have increased now in the city of Bamenda.
Okay.
When that respect the lockdown are now respecting the lockdown. So we are noticing the presence of restoration forces in town. Even in areas like Nkwen, last Monday, areas like Nkwen that never used to really respect lockdown, Mubion Nkwen in particular, you always find people there. But these past Mondays have not been the case. You pass there, it is always very dry.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for the updates. Please stay safe out there.
Thank you. It's my pleasure for ABC.
All right. Thank you, sir. You have a great day. Okay. That was our correspondent, ladies and gentlemen, with the incident in Molang and Rendezvous, where we learned that French Cameroon terrorist soldiers went about terrorizing the area, burning down homes, burning down shops, because one of theirs was arrested by the restoration forces in Mulan. So that is it in Benda. We hope that all of you in Benda remain safe and go about your life peacefully, and allow the restoration forces do what they can do to take back our country. All right, I will now shift to Kumba, where a lot has been taking place for over 3 weeks. Over 3 weeks, Kumba market was sealed by colonial officers in that city. However, before I get there, as you find on my screen, if you live in Mautu, you live in Balangi, you live in Mbonge, I actually learned that today there was an invasion of Balangi. There was an invasion of Balangi by French Cameroon terrorist soldiers. And it is very, very certain that the activities in that area are not over yet. They are still in there. And in Moyoka in particular, we have been made to understand that in every quarter in Moyoka, you have at least 67 dressed in civil and waiting to trap down our restoration fighters. So if you live in Moyoka, be very, very watchful. Know who your neighbor is. If you don't know who your neighbor is, if you find strange faces, know that they may be faces of French Cameroon army. You've got to be very, very careful. The same thing is happening in Mbonge. We learn Mbonge is going to be invaded by French Cameroon army. If you live in Mbonge, please be very, very careful also. Be very, very careful. Mawutu, Mbalangi, Mbonge, please take note of these places. Now, let us get to somebody who can give us some information about what is going on in Kumba. In Kumba, we have learned of the attacks in Kumba, the sealing of the shops in Kumba and the women march yesterday to Chief Mokete's home. I have with me online the spokesperson for Meme County, Fritz Misodi himself. Hello, Fritz.
Hello, Secretary Chris.
How are you doing today, sir?
I'm great, Secretary Chris.
Okay, tell us now, there has been this lockdown, or let me call it the shutdown of Kumba Main Market. Tell us the situation there. Is every shop in the market unsealed?
Yes, Secretary Chris. Thank you for this invitation. I want to tell all the people of Meme and the people of Kumba that as of now, the information we get from is that all the shops have been open, and as we saw from those videos that we got from Kumba and the information, the defense chief of Kumba and the Meme executive members have held a meeting, and they have gathered information that all the shops are open. And also we gathered that there was an information that some people have been locked up. As of now, there are no people in jail concerning this Kumba market issue.
I mean, it was only yesterday that we were told that there are over 50 traders, Kumba traders, awaiting trial at the, was it gendarmes or police stations in Kumba. So you mean to say there is no trader being locked up right now?
None. All those who were locked up last week, they were asked to pay. Some of them were asked to pay 40,000, and they paid. And as of now, none of them are still there. But you know, Secretary Chris, all over Ambazonia, we have our people, our civilians being arrested every day. We have jails across Kumba, but not concerning this Kumba market issue as of now, as we know.
Okay. I would like you to just hang on there. Let me play this clip coming from Kumba women yesterday at Chief Mokete's palace. Let's hear what the woman said yesterday, hang on, please.
Okay, Secretary.
What you are watching on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, is the women protest yesterday at Chief Mokete's palace.
They harass me. I don't talk. I be talking about that. They don't harass me from Benda 2 times. I show them my Bible with rosary. I said I come to church for Monday. Papa, I beg. Now that one way with the Christ, we would not think about. We don't deny. When I go home, we market now. But that Monday, Papa, we will come on. We will come on. And even with the cry, no nothing.
Don't talk your own. Yes. I want to get something for una, but I don't hear them. If they don't come fool me for here. No, listen very well. Yes, sir. Una don't can cry. Yes, sir. We don't accept. So we go open our store. We ask now one question. On Monday, una open our store. All my
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, did you hear that? I don't know who is there, whether that should be one of Kumba administrators asking on Monday, will you open your shops? And the people say, no. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the kind of resilience that we need on ground zero, and I think we all should give thumbs up to all these Kumba market women. Now, Fritz, do we know who was that speaking to the women? Because I understand that Nkele was there, the city council mayor, and the other guy in white garment. Do we know who he is?
Yes, Secretary Chris.
Yes, sir.
That's the phone. Yeah, that's the paramount phone of Kumba, and also the colonial mayor. That's the colonial mayor beside him. So they themselves tried to cajole the women to open their shops on Monday, but the women told them that they are vehemently not going against the laws of the IG and the Ambazonian people, that they will not dare to open their shop on Mondays, and that is why the phone himself and the colonial mayor ordered them that, okay, they should go and open their shops, and they should not, for security reasons, they should not open their shops on Mondays because it will be at their own detriment. So that is a win for the Ambazonian people, and that is a win for the IG. And we want to thank all these the Kumba women, that we are very grateful, we are very thankful for what they did, and we want to tell them that if anybody's shop is locked on any Mondays, all shops will be, all the whole of Kumba will be go on a 2-week lockdown. And that is what we, the people of Meme County and the people of Kumba LGA and the IG, we have decided that if any shop is closed, if any shop is sealed on Mondays, on our lockdown days, all shops, all the whole of Kumba will go on 2-week lockdown. And that will be very, very imposed at that time. So I want to thank them and want to warn all the mayors that they should take note, because our lockdown is Mondays. Mondays is our own country Sunday that they should respect. And so want to pass this message. Also, Secretary Chris, there's an information going out that this protest march by the ladies, by this Kumba market woman, that it was done by La Republic. We want to say that this protest march was done by the Kumba women, Kumba market traders alone. So it's a win for the women, and it's a win for the women in Ambazonia.
Okay, that. But I mean, you can tell from their oratory there that they were not acting under anybody's instruction. It seems it was an impromptu arrangement, they went there and they spoke out their minds and they wanted their shops to be open.
Yes, that's true, Secretary Chris. And I want to thank all our, all our traders, our women, that we have their back. And because we have heard about their cries that we So we are taking note of them, and we are monitoring the situation. Anything that happens on Monday, we are going to give a counter reaction, and the counter reaction will be that we want to tell the people of Kumba and the people of the Kumba market, they should get ready in case any colonial officer go and close their shops. We shall impose a 2 weeks lockdown. So they should start packing their food, they should start packing their stuff for a 2-week lockdown, just in case anybody's shop is closed again. Thank you, Secretary Chris.
All right. Thank you, Fritz. Thank you, Fritz, for joining the program. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you, Secretary Chris.
All right. Okay. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. And I think what the women in Kumba did, it's what we would want every woman group to Ambazonia to do. The women in Kumba represent the true spirit of Ambazonian women, not the women of Salim Bowman, or they call it Northwest, Southwest snot women. These Kumba women are the real heroes, the real patriots of this revolution. They demonstrated such resilience. Their shops have been shut down for going to 1 month, and still they went before the authorities, the colonial authorities, right in front of them, before their face. They told them, no, Mondays, we are not opening our shops on Mondays. That is the spirit. That is the spirit of the revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now joined by Bo Herbert, who is a regular face here at ABC. It's a pleasure to have you back today, sir.
My pleasure. My pleasure to be with you, Chris. Big pleasure. Great to see that footage from home.
Okay, absolutely. That is pure resilience from Ambazonian women. I think they are beginning to take charge and let their voices heard in this struggle. But let's talk about them a little bit before we delve into other issues. Compare this woman, to the women of Sali Mbomwen of the Northwest, Southwest Snot, who would rather prefer to go protest our people. They protest our people. They don't protest La Republique. They protest our people who are defending them. This very woman. Compare, make a contrast between these two, please.
You know, there's this video sends a very clear message about who is in charge. Okay, it's very, very clear. Number one, the people are in charge. But number two, they show the extent to which La République du Cameroon has lost total control of anything to do with Ambazonia. They cannot, whether it is at traditional level, whether it is at local government level, or whether it is with the force of arms or the force of sealing people's stores or forcing them into economic deprivation, they cannot give any orders in Ambazonia. Our people denied to grant consent. Now that is power. That is sending a message to the entire world as to who is in charge in Ambazonia. You cannot be a government of a territory that you don't have control over. And La République du Cameroon does not have control over Ambazonia. That is a very clear message. Now, if you want to compare these brave women from Kumba Market and the, let me just call them lunatics, who go out there shielded by bees, you know, instead of protesting what the bees are doing, they're hanging to the tailcoats and the blood that's flowing from these people's arms, and they're getting protection from them, and they're pretending to speak on behalf of the people of Ambazonia. They dare not. They dare not. You know the people of Ambazonia, when they come out without protection from La République du Cameroun, because we want none of their protection.
Right,
We would much
absolutely.
rather die standing than have anything to do with them. The second thing here is the remarkable age range of these women. They are mostly, you know, young to middle-aged women. This is sending you another message. We have not gotten to Takumbang yet. But there is, in this group of women, a determination. Remember that the bulk of them are still in the category. I mean, I know that La République du Cameroun has raped women in Bafut who were over 70 years old. But these are still the women in the category where bees are looking for to rape. But these women were bold enough to go up there and tell them, and tell the chief that, you know, if you still think you are in charge here, if you still think that you are our chief, if you still want us to show any allegiance to you, you better leave these La République people. You better turn and look after your people. You better ask them to go and open our market. That is a very clear message. They did not go to the colonial governor or the SDO. They did not go there. They went to the chief.
Correct.
And that is consistent with what we said. Now, if a chief stays with the people of Ambazonia, the people of Ambazonia will show them reverence. If they do not stay with the people of Ambazonia, which is the case of those ones who have been living as refugees elsewhere, who had to flee, only chiefs who have been bought over had to leave Ambazonia. And so let us not make any mistake here. It's very clear. These are Ambazonian women, proud Ambazonian women, people in whom we take great pleasure and, you know, can just thank and thank forever. But thank you very much, women of K-Town. That was how to do it.
Ito point, you will recall that when we, in 2017, when we were about formally restoring our independence, the orders were placed, let's take all the rallies, all the marches to the palaces, We thought our chiefs stood with us, and every Ambazonian from county to county, they all took their rallies to the palaces, and that was where they celebrated. Now, I think let us give a little credit where it belongs for Mukete's palace not to send away these women back to the colonial officers, but to address them, to say to them, go back to your shops. Your shops should not be sealed on Mondays. Go back, do your business. I think that is what we have always expected from our traditional leaders, isn't it?
You know, the reason that the chiefs in Ambazonia must take this matter, the chiefs and the funds must take this matter very seriously, is because the way colonization worked, don't forget, the way colonization worked is that Africa was set up in all of these traditional kingdoms. You can call them, all of them were nations. All of them were nations. Remember that all of Europe was set up around city-states. So Greece was a city-state. Okay, Rome was a city-state. The Vatican is still a city-state today. So all of our kingdoms were set up like city-states. They were traditional kingdoms, but they were countries. Now, colonization consisted of destroying those kingdoms.
Right.
So when they came in, they would take people like Rodolphe Mangabel, Douala Mangabel, and Rodolphe, and I think it's King Aqua. They would take them away. They would deport them to Germany. The same way that La République is today deporting our people into La République du Cameroon. They will try them in Germany. They will order for them to be executed. The orders will come from Germany, from the colonial capital, like they did with Martin Paul Samba in the south. So colonization was really taking power away from traditional monarchs, who were the kings and the chiefs in that time. And when time came for colonization to be destroyed, one of the only places where our people recognized that destroying colonization completely consisted of creating a house of chiefs and fawns was in Ambazonia. That is where a system was set up that allowed the chiefs to return to their dignity. Now that system has been destroyed, in part because the chiefs decided to align themselves with the colonial masters, because they accepted that a colonial master will be sitting in Boya or in Kumba and will be the one authorizing the chief of the Bafo people to talk. God forbid. We've got to go back to a point where our people recognize, and our chiefs and fawns, those who are really worthy of that title and of the throne, that they recognize that they belong over and above these people, whether they are elected or they are nominated.
Yes,
and if
I
they want to
stated
look
yesterday, Ntumfo, that when chiefs were chiefs, they did not need government endorsement. Rather, government went to them for their endorsement. But we have the complete opposite today. In other words, when they endorse a government official, they were saying, this is who, or this is what my people want. They were acting on behalf of their people. They were speaking the minds of their people, endorsing the minds of their people. But it turned around that now government is endorsing the chiefs and even making chiefs. What should we do?
Look,
what can we do in this situation? What would it take for our chiefs to realize that they are no longer the chiefs we had from those days?
Well, it's a very simple thing. You know, when go back to colonization, or go back to slavery, what happened with slavery? There were kingdoms that fought slave drivers. But there were kingdoms where the chiefs were so cheap, were such easy pushovers and you know, chop broke pots, that the only thing they looked for was, did you bring a little bit of whiskey? Did you bring a mirror? Did you bring a gramophone? Did you bring some gunpowder? And they took those things from the slave drivers. They became themselves slave dealers. And today you have this situation where these people have become colonial enablers because they don't have the dignity of the throne. They do not know that the power they have comes from their people pledging allegiance to them and owing allegiance to them. Now, they don't need to look outside of the two Cameroons to find out where chiefs are still chiefs. Let them look to the Lamido of Rebuba. Let them look to the to Fumban, to the Bamun people. Let them look around. They will recognize. So Chief Mukete there was showing what royalty looks like. As a matter of fact, Chief Mukete should never allow a colonial administrator to come into his palace. You know, in the old days, we would just call them slaves, but, you know, we're in the modern times. But he should not allow these people to come into there, because those are the people who have been sent to kill his people. Those are the people who have been sent to subvert his authority. What Ambazonia is about restoring dignity to those traditional kingdoms and returning them to the place of dignity where our forebears recognized from the very beginning. So if you want to be a real chief, if you want to be a real fawn, you know that your power flows from your people, and your people will not desert you if you stand with them.
We are appealing to all the groups on ground zero, be they traders, women, the youths, and so on and so forth. I think the time has come for them to begin to act as one, just the way this woman in Kumba acted yesterday. We have said that if a single shop is shut down or sealed anywhere in Ambazonia, every other shop should be shut down in solidarity with the shop that has been shut down. And we think this should happen. It should happen in Benda, in Kumba, in Fundong, in Kambe, in Boya, in Victoria, in Manfe, everywhere. everywhere. Shouldn't this be the time that others learn from these women and begin to act this way?
You know, Secretary Chris, that's a very good point. But let's also say something. So we've seen an outburst of anger, rage, shown by the Kumba market women. That's brilliant. That is wonderful. They are joking with their livelihoods and they did not want that to happen. But let me tell the people of Ambazonia why their outrage should be beyond material and economic and financial things. Our people are getting slaughtered on a regular basis. That is where the justified outrage should show itself. I can say something for sure to the people of Ambazonia. We are not going to win freedom. We are not going to win independence unless we act like we want it. So we need, when you hear that the bee have killed somebody, please do not make it the affair of that one family or that one individual.
Right.
Because it is coming to you. If you look here, we live here in the United States. Yes, the military and the police, they kill regularly. In fact, we are dealing with a situation right now. But what happens regularly with the situation here is that the population comes out. So when you hear that the bee are going down your street or your town and they're slaughtering, if they're slaughtering in Kumbo, all of Ambazonia should be acting. When they shut down the market in Kumba, it should not only be the Kumba market women, it should also be the women in Benda market. It should also be the women in markets in Com. Everyone should act in solidarity with the other. All for one, one for all. That is the slogan.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we think as we move on in this struggle, we'll learn every day. And I think this should be one of those lessons to be learned, especially for those on ground zero. We're still on the subject of these chiefs, the subject of the chiefs. We now know that the reason why Mr. Biya is essentially driving them out of his territory is because they planned their election. They call it regional elections in Ambazonia. This is an attempt to carry out their so-called special status. Ntumfon, what would you think should be done to stop this so-called election taking place in Ambazonia organized by a foreign country?
You know, it looks like the Biya government, the Biya regime has never understood anything. You know, this is the regime that, goes out and spends a lot of money to buy umbrellas when it is the dry season. And then they will go out and not take care of the floods when it is the middle of the rainy season. These are people who don't understand anything at all. If Mr. Biya understood anything, he will know that the people of Ambazonia are getting ready for the anniversary of the 22nd of September and for the celebration of the 3rd anniversary of the restoration of our independence. And that nothing of that kind can unfold in Ambazonia. I'm just picking that period to say that he could have picked another period and even hope, because there's no chance that Mr. Biya is going to organize any elections in Ambazonia. I mean, he tried to organize elections in 2018, his presidential election. I mean, you can go listen to the reports by foreign reporters who were there. How many people were able to vote? I mean, everybody recognized you cannot do it in Ambazonia. If you cannot determine whose store is open in Kumba Market, how can you organize elections in Ambazonia? You don't own our land. We own it, and no elections will happen there, whether the chiefs come back or not. And by the way, if a chief has betrayed their people and he thinks he's returning to Ambazonia, please stay on where you are. You are not needed. You know, the next in line should, our people up in up country, there was a time when you would go away on a long journey and people would wait for you to return. And when they didn't see you, they would take the stem of a banana tree and they would dig a grave and they will lower it and they will say that, they buried you. If these chiefs who fled, these chiefs who abandoned their people, when a chief abdicates, they stay in abdication. They don't show up. The people have fought their own battles all on their own. The chief used to be the one who had the regiments, who had the military in his command, who recruited from every family a male child and put them into the army to defend the people. If the chief cannot defend the people, are they coming back to Ambazonia to govern? Who? Can any one of those chiefs tell us the day when La République B went into their camp, into their palaces to send them away? Not a single one of those chiefs can show us. Not one. So if they left because they went to get their pay from their master. Well, let them stay on in Ambazonia. Let them stay on in La République du Cameroun. Ambazonia has been doing very well without them. So we don't need them back. We don't.
What though do you make of the fact that Atanganji said during a brief press conference introducing the subject that the chiefs will be sent back to their communities with a squad of soldiers? Did you hear that? What do you make of that?
Well, he's sending a few more soldiers to be killed. That's what's happening. And the chiefs know, I mean, if a chief needs a squad of soldiers to protect them inside their palace, you understand. That's the only other people who live in Ambazonia with a squad protecting them are colonial people. So if a chief returns to us as a colonial person, if they are protected by the military, they're in fact making themselves a military target because they are then working against our people. There is no way, if a chief has done wrong by their people, they show up and apologize. There is a fine that is paid in the palace by all chiefs. If a chief does wrong, they are fined. In Com where I'm tumfoing, the phone of Com will teach me constitutional law. He will tell me the limits of his power. He will tell me that he cannot go to Kuifon and dictate anything. He will tell me that there are issues that he cannot settle at the palace because those issues would be in violation of the rules of the land of those phones with dignity, who have carried our tradition with the dignity that is required, who have shown respect for their throne and for the ancestors who sat on those thrones. Those people don't need protection from anyone to return to Ambazonia. And I know that if our chiefs have wronged us, if our phones have wronged us, and they say that we committed an error against our people will be willing to restore them against a fine. I know that for sure. But returning with a squad of colonial soldiers, well, let them bring us some new weapons because we will take them.
Well, talking about an apology in Tumfon, that is assuming we were Ambazonians were to accept any apology from the chiefs and the funds, shouldn't they be immediately upon setting foot on their communities be saying, we acknowledge the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, we acknowledge the authorities of the county leaders and administrators, we acknowledge the powers of the Ambazonian Restoration Forces. Should they not acknowledge all this with immediate effect and renounce their subserviency to La République du Cameroun?
No, I mean just their return. Sorry, I was pulling a muscle there. Sorry, that's
okay.
Probably our audience saw me there. The televiewers, I was pulling a muscle, but their mere return is an acknowledgement that that Ambazonia is under control of Ambazonians. Their mere return is a recognition that you cannot live in another man's land and be chief of your people or fawn of your people. So their mere return is to say, we do bad, we beg for sorry, we talk sorry. So if they return, we accord them the kind of dignity that we would ask of ourselves. We don't want them to be humiliated. Nobody wants their chief to be humiliated, their fund to be humiliated. But once they return, and they will talk with the house in the palace that does these kinds of things, because in every palace, there is a system of delivering justice, even to the fund or to the chief. Let them deal with that there, but let them continue to recognize that the people of Ambazonia have been working very hard to bring them back, to restore them to their dignity, their lost dignity. And it is not La République that is going to give them that.
All right. Of course, La République cannot give them dignity in our territory. Now, we know that some of these chiefs went out for legitimate reasons, and we are also expecting them back. I am referring to those whose palaces were defied, looted, and burnt down by La République du Cameroun, and they had to leave. for obvious reasons. Now, we do not hear anything about this one. Most of these are not in Yaoundé. They are somewhere in Bamenda, they are somewhere in Boya, somewhere in Kumba, somewhere maybe within the territory. We do not hear a lot of public saying anything about these ones.
No, they are interested in particular chiefs. They're interested in the CPDM chiefs because the system of rigging an election, the system of producing an inexistent result during an election requires the riggers in chief. Those are the people they are looking to return to. Those are the people. But these chiefs live in the same situation like a man like Mr. Frundi now finds himself in the US. You flee your base when you realize that your base has turned against you, that you no longer have a base. But if you go back to your people and you tell your people, I was wrong, your people will welcome you. That is how we got people like Honorable Mbandam end up in Yaoundé, both alive and in a grave, because they did not listen to their people. They believed that they had authority to do as they wish, but the people also determined for themselves what they will accept. And in this case, they have decided we're not going to accept chiefs that pay homage to Yaoundé and think that they can rule over us.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I just would like to remind you this broadcast is intended to raise awareness for the draft that is coming up on Sunday for ABC, your own television. But while we expect the draft to come up on Monday, we are right here. I am right here looking for 5 Ambazonians today. 5 Ambazonians today. Who will say, Secretary Chris, we want to appreciate what you and the interim government you are doing there. We want to appreciate ABC. We want to appreciate the effort you put in there to update us on a weekly basis with what is going on in the struggle. Please, we want those who have this mind, who can say, I am donating $1,000, $1,000. I need 5 people today before the end of this broadcast who will say, Secretary Chris, I want to donate $1,000. If you can do more, that is okay. And remember, if you are in the U.S., your donation is tax deductible. Tax deductible, which means at the end of the year, we send you, ABC sends you a receipt, and you can use that to make some claims on your tax forms. So please, you can call that number you find on your screen. If you would like to make a donation, $1,000 donation today for ABC, the number is there on your screen. Let me bring you back, please. While we go ahead and discuss the issues, please feel free to call that number. Stop us anytime by calling that number if you have a donation to send in for ABC. ABC. In 2 point. These chiefs, they are going back. Do you see the people welcoming them back? Because they left the people and deserted. They ran away.
Before I talk about the chiefs, let me join you in just saying to people out there who are watching ABC TV, every one of these efforts that is being made to promote the cause of Ambazonian people restoring their independence is a cause that you need to support. I want to plead with you, people of Ambazonia. We need these instruments. We need these channels to be kept open. We need to continue to have this conversation because we are not only having it with the people of Ambazonia, we are also having it with the world. And it is important that these structures stand, that they work. At this point, as you know, all TV stations get their income from some kind of subscription when you buy a package, or you get it from advertisements. This is not a situation that is valid for the people of Ambazonia or for networks that support our cause. So you are going to have to support your own cause. You do this, when you do it, don't have any worry, don't have any shame. Because I can tell you again, let me go back to the war, to the United States War of Independence. George Washington, the first general of that Continental Army, made sure that he appealed to the people of the United States across. The people supplied food, they supplied clothing, they supplied blankets, they helped buy weapons. That is what they did here in the United States. Today, when you see a ceremony, when someone becomes a U.S. citizen, one of the most important part of that swearing in ceremony consists of you pledging that you will bear arms on behalf of the United States, that you will do work under civilian supervision when it is required by the laws of the United States. That is how a country functions. That is how we need to support ourselves as we move towards full recognition of the state of Ambazonia. Please keep these networks going and support everyone who is doing the kind of fine work that Secretary Chris is doing with this network here, ABC TV. But with respect to the chiefs, and I think we are even giving them a lot of time, but these chiefs, there's no way chiefs are going to be welcome in Ambazonia. Those chiefs that left, my brother, they left. Let's talk perhaps about those who had to flee because some of their palaces were burned down by La République. Those of them whose palaces were burned down by La République, those of them were targeted because they support our cause. And we saw it on the 22nd of September and on the 1st of October. We are very sympathetic. We are very sorry for what happened to the chiefs who, being totally supportive of our cause, found themselves in the line of fire. But the chiefs were always the first in the line of fire. When they invaded a traditional kingdom, they looked for the chief. If they got the chief or they got his head, they would declare victory. And the people were the ones who took their chief into a sanctuary they could hide him. They are the ones who showed up and moved him. They are the ones who could tell any visitor whether the chief was in the palace or not. So if our chiefs return, if the Fons return, please let them do right by our tradition. Because just by abandoning those traditional kingdoms and those shrines in the palace, they have not fulfilled certain number of obligations towards their people and towards those shrines in their palaces. And I speak as a Christian with no fear because I believe that our people knew God before the Bible showed up. God made us capable of recognizing that he was the omnipotent, the one and only from the very beginning. And all of our traditions recognized that there was a God. And those chiefs were in many ways also the high priests of the people. And when they abandoned those shrines, the women who have had to go and plant seeds without the blessings of their ancestors, what do these chiefs think has been going on? So when they go home, let them pay their apologies to the people of Ambazonia. Let them turn their backs on La République du Cameroon, because even if they don't, a day is coming. In fact, the day is near when the people of Ambazonia will live in a free land. And those chiefs, if you don't return now, you will never ever be able to return. You will stay in exile for the rest of your lives. And you will be the loser because the people of Ambazonia and the people of your kingdom will find a successor to the chief because there's a long line. I think you're muted, Secretary Chris.
In Tumfoin, can you articulate the role of the chiefs and the Fons in the new Southern Cameroons?
That's a tall order in the sense that, one person could not possibly determine this for all of the people of Ambazonia. But when we started off with the broadcast, I said that when our people returned to independence, when they returned from the Eastern House in Enugu in 1953, and they set up West Cameroon, they recognized that there was no way we were going to run our kingdoms, we were going to run Ambazonia without the chiefs being involved. That is why the House of Chiefs was put in place. In fact, the British, because they have a royal family, and because they know that for a prime minister to become indeed a prime minister, the letters of accreditation of the prime minister have to be received by the Queen. The people of Britain recognized what kind of thing was going on with our chiefs and kings. And that is part of the reason why they ruled through indirect rule, because they recognized that you could not step past that monarchy and expect to rule the people of Ambazonia. Now, let me tell you also why it is a fallacy to try and roll through this colonial system. The British recognize it. Even today, in a colonial setup, the fun of Com and any other fun in the northern zone, the chiefs like Chief Mukete and any other one in the southern zone, they are the ones who still manage territory. They manage all the land. So Atanganji can sit there and call himself territorial administration. He is no territorial administration in Ambazonia, not at all, because he cannot determine what happens with land in Kumba. The Bafo people know that if someone is fighting another one over land, they will go to the chief of the Bafos, and the chief will determine, based on ancestors who worked that land before, whose land it is. Now, you can talk about human rights or what you want. When it comes down to implementation of human rights, it really comes down to our chiefs. It comes down to our funds, who is going to be able to determine what happens. So these people, these chiefs and funds, are in fact the territorial administration people. They are the people who govern at the grassroots, and they should be returned to that position. All these colonial SDOs should pack and leave. We don't need them in Ambazonia. And I believe that these chiefs should return to a house of chiefs, a house of funds. But I think the people of Ambazonia should be very careful. If someone has betrayed you right now, during your war of independence, do not return them to any dignity in such a house. Fundoms that do not align with the people of Ambazonia should be disqualified from sitting in any such house of chiefs or house of funds. They should not. But we really do need to recognize that there is a system in place that is based on what happens in these traditional kingdoms. The customary courts are still there. They are still part of our institutions. Our marriages are still sealed, and sometimes divorce is still granted through a traditional system of governance. So when you take a customary case, it is settlement of a dispute. And it is a recognized way of settling that dispute. And our people don't turn to these colonial courts that have been set up in that place because they know that it is a system that is all based on money. Now, these people who have been set up, one of the things that they have done all across Ambazonia is that they have stolen land. They have stolen land because they show up and they tell you that, okay, all the grazing land belongs to the colonial government. Then they start taking it for themselves. They are taking it because they are taking it away from our people. And if we restore the chiefs into that system, if we recognize that these traditions establish the way in which governance work, you are going to kill a big system of corruption, for instance, that is linked to land titles. There are people today who will go and take land titles over territory that they did not own. They will take land titles over land where you have your ancestors buried, Secretary Chris. Because they can go to Yaoundé and they can pay big money, and the land title will be handed out in their name. We should be able to go back to history and say the ancestors of Secretary Chris were the ones that owned this piece of land. And the land title should be established on the basis of that ancestral ownership, not on the basis of someone paying some money up front. So if we don't return to that traditional system, if we don't restore the chiefs into some kind of dignity, we will continue to see part of this prostitution. And let me just say for the people of Ambazonia, this will be my last point on the chiefs. For the people of Ambazonia, remember also what happened. The chiefs used to benefit entirely from the support that was coming from the people. And that support was taken away by the colonial system. So the chiefs were turned, many of them were turned into beggars because they couldn't have any means of survival. And then La République decided that they will have a handout for them. They would give them 100,000 at the end of the month and call them subsidiaries of the administration. And at the same time, put them under their feet and place their feet over them. That is something that should not happen. There are enough Ambazonians to make sure that every chief and fund in Ambazonia receives funding. If we have not established a system, we need to think about how to establish a system that provides money to our chiefs and to our funds so they do not have to take any money from La République du Cameroon. If our people contribute on a monthly basis, all of these chiefs and funds can be put on a decent salary, they can be taken care of, and they can turn their backs on this colonial system.
Okay, I am getting a message from some Ambazonians saying, Mr. Anu, we need to make it clear that any chief who collaborates with La République du Cameroon will be removed once we arrive Boya. No chief, he says, who values his throne should collaborate with the enemy. Now, that is an Ambazonian writing there. In Tumfan, I know we've discussed about this House of Chiefs in the past. You are very much supporter of it. I have really thought that this idea of a House of Chiefs was for those days, and I thought it was a necessary institution for the colonialists to reach down to the people in every community, and so they came out with the idea of the House of Chiefs. Do we really still need a House of Chiefs today? You have talked about the land titles, marriages that all these chiefs, they all oversee or should oversee in their communities. Shouldn't this give them enough money? I mean, I don't see anything wrong for somebody going to do a traditional wedding, or the government saying you want to do it, you want to marry, you must go through your traditional process, put maybe 5,000 francs, put maybe 10,000 francs into the hands of the chief, and then you want to sell land, the chief must have 10,000 francs, 20,000 francs, and people are selling lands every day. Do we need to allocate anything to the chiefs or to give them an institution like the National Assembly to make them recognizable? It's an archaic institution.
Well, you know, Britain has still kept its king and queen, and it's not for no silly reason. There are important reasons as to why you maintain those people in place. Because, again, let's go back to the beginning of our conversation. It was that we had these kingdom states, traditional kingdom states at the beginning. Don't forget that when the British, when the Greeks grew, they grew out of Greece, they grew out of Rome. Those were city-states, and our traditional kingdoms are kingdom states. Now, if you superimpose anyone on those kingdom states, you are in effect creating a colonial system. Now, right, you can determine what kinds of powers go to a House of Chiefs versus how much power goes to the House of Representatives. Even here in the United States, you've got a Senate with 2 representatives from each state, which Mr. Biya happily copied when he went back to La République du Cameroon, except that he added the part where he appoints by presidential decree who he wants to go there. But because those two people per state do not, in effect, represent the kind of democratic grassroots support that the House of Representatives represents in the United States, it is the House of Representatives that is called the People's House. It is the leader of the House of Representatives who is the third in line of protocol. So if there was no Donald Trump today, if he resigned, and if President Pence resigned in the United States, the next in line would be Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House of Representatives, not the leader, not the majority leader from the Senate. So in the same way, you can have a House of Chiefs and recognize that these people are not designated through a democratic system. But you allow them because they manage so much. And I join you in supporting a system that takes away from the colonial administration issues like marriages. When I do a marriage in Com, it is in accordance with the traditions of the Com people. It is not in accordance with the traditions of the SDO. So that marriage should really be happening under a system supervised by the Fund of Com, because it's done according to customs of Com. Now, to get the chief to have a stamp that validates that marriage, to have the chief manage the territory and the land and deal with the disputes that are related to all of those, to have them manage the environment. I mean, our people, for instance, go to have to drink water from streams. You have to think about what happens with those streams. So if you live up in the mountain, for instance, and you are still burying people up in the mountains, and the springs from up of that mountain flow down to people downstream, washing through human bodies that are decaying on the ground because you just put them anyhow, you are going to be drinking poison water downstream. So that issue of managing just how people are buried, for instance, where you could bury, managing the issues of, if you go to COM, we've got an 8-day week instead of a 7-day week. And there are days which would be a Monday.
How come you have an
of La
8-day
République.
week in COM?
We have an 8-day week in COM. Most traditional kingdoms have an 8-day week. And so, for instance, there would be a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday when it is Sunday in COM. We call it two-baller. You cannot go to the farm on that day.
Their country Sunday, right?
It's their country Sunday. So you see
Okay,
the people of
that.
Ambazonia saying, we are not going to open our stores on Monday because it is country Sunday of Ambazonia. That also happens in a traditional kingdom. So there is plenty of power that is, and remember too, Secretary Chris, I am going to be very willing to disobey orders given by Mr. Bia, but I'm very unlikely to disobey orders given by the Fon of Com. In fact, I will not disobey any orders given by the Fon of Com. I happen to be one of his spokespersons. So I will not disobey. If anybody wants to control me, they can go and see the Fon of Com. The Fon of Com can give me orders that I will respect, but I will not respect a system that is built through thievery, stealing land, stealing people's countries, and governing them by force.
Now, I see so many people here on the social media saying, hey, Secretary Chris, we don't need these chiefs from La République returning to Ambazonia. And they're also asking, how about these other chiefs in the diaspora? Where do they go to?
Well, there are chiefs. There are a lot of chiefs in the diaspora. I believe that part of what brought them to the diaspora was, work, was going to school and that kind of stuff. And many of them made arrangements for regents to be in their place to support what they are doing. I don't want the people of Ambazonia to modernize more than the white people. In this country, in this United States of America, you still have traditional Indian kingdoms that continue to function, and the United States government has to have permission from those traditional kingdoms, even if they were running an oil pipe system through that kingdom. We cannot create an independent, truly independent country by disrespecting the dignity of any traditional people. We must do it by upholding the dignity of those people and putting in check systems that are not democratic, and recognizing that there have to be limits as to the kind of power that they can hold. It is not about destroying them. It is about putting them in their right place in a democratic and modern Ambazonia. So you don't set out by saying, I'm going to destroy set so and so, because even from that principle, you are then pushing a number of people to say to themselves, I better stick with La République du Cameroon because they at least recognize me as an auxiliary of the administration. These people don't even want to see me.
Well, thank you, Ntumfon. We will move to another subject, but before we move there, I just like to remind our audience that I am looking for 5 people. I'm looking for 5 people who will call the number on the screen to say, Secretary Chris, we want to support ABC with $1,000. We want to support ABC with $1,000. And remember again, if you are in the U.S., every donation to ABC is tax deductible. Tax deductible. Call the number you find on your screen to interrupt this broadcast. I will pick your call just to interrupt this broadcast if you just want to call to make that donation or the pledge. Pledges should be redeemable between now and Sunday. So please call the number on your screen and make that donation. Encourage what we are doing here. Encourage this television station to move on in a stronger way. All right, in Ntumfon, I remember when the Fon of Fontem, the late Fon of Fontem once visited the USA and had a meeting with his subjects. And one of the questions that was asked him is, why is it that everybody that is No. The question was, why are you crowning a lot of chiefs nowadays? Why? In the years past, this thing was hereditary, but now people are just paying money and getting the titles, and they're asking, why are you crowning so many chiefs? And you know, his answer was, what do you want me to do? All my chiefs have run away to the US, to Europe. Who do you want me to remain in the village? in the village, you want me to remain there alone and be a chief without chiefs? So, what do you think about that argument? Because, I mean, the diaspora is full of Ambazonian chiefs, some who have constituencies and some have just the titles.
Well, let me tell you, Brother Chris, there are people who are hungry to be royalty. But our people know that royalty comes in your blood. And so people who go and pay money to become chiefs, that is not a title that will be respected anywhere. And I believe the people themselves recognize that that is not a title to be respected anywhere. I can recognize also that there will be other subtitles which don't raise you to the rank of royal. You know, when the Fon of Com made me in Tumfoin, many people here in the DC area who believe that by becoming in Tumfoin, I had become one of the royals. They invited me to come and join a meeting of the royals. And I said, no, in Com, the title in Tumfoin means messenger, spokesperson for the Fon. It does not mean that I've become royal. I am someone that the Fon will send around to go and deliver his message and return with whatever message he's asking me. But some people just take these titles, and because they sound nice and they're in traditional language, they are in Com, for instance, they decide to bamboozle people with the titles and pretend that they have become chiefs. And they go around, they tell people not to shake their hands. That is part of the trouble that we have. Now, we are going to get more people, because remember, when we talk about the United States, there was just one General Washington in charge of the Continental Army. How many generals are there in the U.S. Army today? So the numbers grow with respect to the population and with respect to how the chief wants to organize the kingdom. Now, if a chief decides that they are going to splinter their power, and we have seen that system work in the administration. We have seen in a place like Com, where we have one Fon. We have seen Yaoundé struggle to create people who were close to the CPDM and try and raise them to the rank of chief. The trouble in Com is that that cannot work. And the person cannot stand anywhere in Com and call themselves chief. Because if they do, the next day, the people will abandon them. And that is how the people of Ambazonia should react. If someone goes and buys a title, do not respect that title. Continue to pay allegiance to the system that is in place. Of course, we recognize that if that system has been corrupted, then the people of Ambazonia have a right to look for someone else, to consider that that person has been dethroned, or to consider that there is no longer a chief in that village. Don't forget that the south of La République du Cameroon used to have strong chiefs. When they talk about Martin Paul Samba, he was a strong chief from the south of La République du Cameroon. But today, any chief in La République du Cameroon is somebody that they have given a uniform to, is someone that they have put under their control, is someone who pays allegiance to CPDM, and is no longer dignifying in any way. So there are two ways of destroying a traditional kingdom. One way is to go and join the colonialists against your people. And the second way is to start splintering it by ridiculing the same traditional titles by which you are respected. If you do that, your people see that there's nothing left in it, and they turn their backs on it, away from you.
Let us talk about this. I'm sure you've learned about this conference. They call it a World Conference on the Ambazonian struggle that is coming up, being hosted or organized by this Coalition for Dialogue. Now, Coalition for Dialogue has nothing in common with Team Ambazonia that is working with the Swiss to host the Swiss talks. But this Coalition for Dialogue, they are are hosting this conference, and they are not members of Team Ambazonia. Do we have two different groups that are out looking for a mediated settlement to this conflict?
No, we don't. Now, remember what we just talked about, splintering chiefdoms. This is La République du Cameroon splintering itself. The Coalition for Dialogue is a US-based branch of the CPDM. Okay? That's what they are here for. They are here to try and divide the people of Ambazonia with respect to a unified team going forward with mediation. If they believe that they support a mediated settlement, they will join Team Ambazonia. There's no other way to see it. When people know already that one process has been endorsed by the international community, that one process is supported by the United Nations, by the African Union, by the European Union, by the UK, by the USA, by Canada, when people know that and they still decide to go and create some ghost coalition, and then they tell you that it is a coalition for dialogue, you should understand what that means. When somebody comes to you and says they want to engage in talks or they want to engage in dialogue, it is true that some of them may have a problem with English, but talks and dialogue are not the same thing as negotiations. And the people of Ambazonia are not interested in talks. They are not interested in dialogue. We are interested and committed to a negotiated settlement between two parties. There are only two parties at the table. On the one side, La République du Cameroun, and on the other side, Ambazonia. That's the only two teams that are there. And so if these people are interested, if they have ideas, if they want to join Team Ambazonia, they should not feel shy. They should knock on the door. Because one thing that we have said from the beginning of the creation of Team Ambazonia is that it is open. People who are outside of Team Ambazonia today were invited to join. They decided not to join. So they can go around and, they could call the Universal Congress on Ambazonia. They could call the Heaven and Earth Conference on Ambazonia. Nothing is going to happen with that stuff because it's not going anywhere at all.
No, I totally get your point. I have gone through the members of that coalition team, and I can assure everyone out there, I have not seen one single independentist in that team, in that group. These are all either unitarilists or federalists who are camouflaging as people who have a burden for the people residing in Cameroon and calling these conferences. In fact, you look at the last time they tried to put on a conference, you saw the lineup of their guests. This guy in the USA, was a retired ambassador, Cohen, and yep, all the pro-federalist U.S. citizens that you can imagine. And now they are talking about some big, give it a big name, some big conference, Southern Cameroon conference that is coming up. I think it is very, very important that Ambazonians know this group does not represent the true aspirations of Ambazonians who want a free and independent country.
The sad thing here, Secretary Chris, is that they don't seem to recognize at their own level. They don't seem to understand that the only reason these people showed up was because there was Team Ambazonia.
Right.
Remember when they were created? They were created as soon as it became clear that there was Team Ambazonia. Then they decided, oh my God, we cannot let La République du Cameroun face these people, because if they do, then they are going to triumph. So we need a side show. And then they created this nonsense. Now, La République du Cameroon,
And to,
although they are
not to
very
cut you,
stupid,
not to cut you short, you will also recall that some of these guys were at Bia's Grand National Dialogue. We have
of
not
course,
heard them
that is.
say anything, come out to condemn that dialogue, but they came out, set up their coalition for dialogue, and they are dancing the same. In fact, no, I'm making a mistake here. They actually endorsed the special status, only thought that a few things were wrong.
You know, we keep going back to these people and touching them. They're one here and one there. But look, La République du Cameroon has understood one thing. La République du Cameroon has seen video of the women of Kumba. Tell them we will not do anything that you order us to do, and that includes even if you are going to starve us by shutting down our stores. We will do what the government of Ambazonia is telling us to do and what the leaders of Ambazonia are telling us to do. And that thing says on Monday we should not open our stores. If La République du Cameroon believed that they could do a deal, with, for instance, our leaders in jail, they would have signed a deal. They had 2 meetings. They would have signed a deal. They would have published a deal. But they know, and the world knows, that when they sign a deal with those people, it does not mean anything. The world also knows that even if they did an election with the support of chiefs, it does not mean anything to the people of Ambazonia. They know, La République knows, that if they went and did something with the coalition for dialogue, it does not mean anything. It does not amount to anything. And La République knows that if they don't show up for the negotiations without preconditions, they will face the music of the international community. They know it. And that is why they're fighting so hard to create all of these sideshows, and they're sending messages to the diplomatic corps to tell them, look, we now have something going on with Seseko, and we're working with them, and we would really want to keep this secret, because if we talk about it, then it will not be successful. So we had to go out there and say nothing was going on. And they tried to bamboozle. They tried to get people to believe the starting of something. And these enablers outside of La République du Cameroon then tried to look for all kinds of relevance to show, oh, you know, you were doing something about this Ambazonian thing. You know, we are putting together a dialogue. A dialogue with who? They have been dialoguing with themselves. That is why we said we set a table for negotiations. We are putting in place a process for negotiations. And we are never going to pretend to the Amazonian people that negotiations have started until La République du Cameroon is seated at the table. And when we get to that point, Ambazonians who are competent in these areas, plus international experts who have negotiated independence before, will sit there and hold brief for the people of Ambazonia and defend our case and make sure that the only thing we sign on to is full, unconditional independence for the people of Ambazonia.
All right, into point. I have a call here all the way from Boyo of some events going on in Boyo. I know that is your own constituency. Let's get to this correspondent from Boyo. Let's know what he's trying to tell us. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Greeting to everyone on board. I would like to quickly inform the public that Boyo, particularly in Belo, LGS, is currently on a military battle with the...
Can you be a little louder, please? Your voice is quite low.
Our boys are actually on a battle since yesterday with the military. They have occupied the whole place. Their target is to take over the camp in Belo, precisely at Abo. Thank you.
So what you are saying is the Cameroon military is now occupying almost all of Belo?
Yes. Their target is to get the main camp in Boyo.
Okay.
Precisely at Abo. They came from Dawara. And spotted all over the whole place. The people have been running around into the bushes since yesterday. Thank you.
Are the boys aware of this?
The boys are aware. The boys are very much aware.
Okay, and the community.
The target was to ambush the target was to ambush the camp.
But they didn't succeed, I guess.
They didn't succeed, but they are still around the area since yesterday.
Okay, about how many soldiers in there?
We are still not we are able to get
The number.
the right information, but so far that's what I can tell you for now.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
My greetings to Kumba.
All right.
Thank you very much, my brother. Let me say something here, and I don't say it because I come from Com. I know that my brother Chris has got a powerful Ambazonian, self-defense units coming out of Labielum, but I could not be prouder of the people and the restoration forces working out of Com, especially out of Belo. This is one of the areas that has told La République du Cameroon, you are not going to own our land. And they have done us proud. And I am delighted that they are facing La République squarely, that they are making sure that they are not going to cut and run in the face of whatever is happening. Now, there's a guy who lives up on the hill there, Laji Baban Danpulo, who has been a human rights violator for many years, who is a war criminal, who's committed crimes against humanity from a long time ago, who has owned property, as we were talking earlier, property on which people's ancestral lands and graves, their grandfathers' graves, over which Alaji Danpolo now reigns because he could go to Yaoundé and take a land title. I can send one message to Alaji Baba Danpolo today. In the same way as those white colonialists took over land in Zimbabwe and they thought they were going to own it, you are going to leave. You are not going to own land that belongs to families that you think you can just show up and collect, sit over it, and then spill their blood on top of it and facilitate the work of the colonial regime coming in to come to slaughter the people. You need to think of somewhere else where you want to go. I know of how desperate you have been seeking around elsewhere around the world to try and find a place to run and hide. Well, if you come to the United States, we will be waiting for you, Alaji Baba Dampulo, and we will make sure that you will find no rest. That is valid for your successors, your heirs, and everybody. So leave the people of Ambazonia alone. Stop facilitating the work of the colonial administration. Allow the people of Com to live in peace. This is the land of Joa, Bobe Joa, and we will not let Bobe Joa down. We will fight. We will fight until Ambazonia is free.
Thank you, Ntumfoin. We hope that the people in Boyo find safe havens and protect themselves. We are also learning right now that there is an attack in Victoria. The boys have been picked all over the city of Victoria. We just want to wish everybody is safe. Get to a safe location, be protected. Do not allow yourself to be picked up by these terrorists. We shall prevail. We shall prevail. There is no option. La République can kill, can loot, can arrest, can do all that it is doing. But they did this, ladies and gentlemen, in the Eritrea. They did this in the Sudan. But the people showed resilience. They showed courage. And at the end of the day, they have their country. We must get back our own country in spite of what La République is trying to do to discourage us. Ntumfon, I would like you, before you go to one more, please appeal to these Ambazonians out there to see the need to come to ABC support this week, please.
Yeah, well, this is a cause that is dear to my heart. You know, I've been personally running a show of myself from Ambazonia Calling, which I suspended because I will explain that to the people of Ambazonia right now. I'm working on some other big file on behalf of the people of Ambazonia, and it's so important that I have had to give up producing the show just to focus on that one file, make sure that it is out of my hands and make sure that it is in the right hands and that it can go to the place where the people of Ambazonia have instructed me to work so that that file should get to. So with apologies for not bringing Ambazonia Calling to you, I can tell you that Secretary Chris has made sure that my voice was still loud and clear here on ABC TV, and I don't say that because it's my voice. I say it to say that this platform offers an amazing place for the people of Ambazonia to come to. Now, that call coming in from Boyo was at the initiative of the person calling in from Boyo. You can call into this show and make sure that our people know what's going on. You can follow what's going on here and relate to the rest of the world what exactly is going on in Ambazonia. When it comes down to how this system survived, please remember, one of the reasons that we could not have Ambazonia calling going on is because I am the one anchoring the show. I am the one who has to produce it. If we had made it professional, which meant that you would raise some money, you will make sure that there's somebody who would be paid, who would be there to work, even if Ntumfoin was not there to do the work, to edit the program, we would have that show out. So I want you to try and support, professionalize the ABC TV so that we can have a system in place where there are more anchors, there are more shows, there are more people participating. You are getting footage from the ground that can be played, that can show what is going on in Ambazonia. Because remember also, people of Ambazonia, one of the things that these programs are helping us to do is they're helping us to create a digital footprint to make sure that things that Mr. Bia is doing on the ground are not going to be missing. The shows will live forever on the internet. So if you are sitting somewhere today and you see footage that you need to send into this show, please go ahead and do so. There's something on CNN that used to be called iReporters. iReporters, please, if you point out that camera and you are picking up something that involves our people, that involves our struggle for independence, please share it on these programs, but also share generously from your own wallet to make sure that these programs and these stations are professionalized. We are running them at a time when there's no other way for us to do this but to come out to you and beg and plead and appeal to your generous heart. Please to support this. If you know friends who are not Ambazonians, they are lovers of freedom, let them also chip in, let them support. One of these days, I will be in a position to say what I'm doing to support ABC, but for now, my voice, please heed my voice. Support ABC, support any other program that's coming to you. SCBC, of course, if you know specific people who are running programs there that you want to support, please go ahead. But I know that they have a system that has been in place for a while, that they took some money from the people of Ambazonia. This is the first time ABC is asking for support. Please do provide support. And when I get back on with Ambazonia Calling, I'm going to be asking people to support as well and support programs that come out to the people of Ambazonia.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ntumfoin. I look forward to seeing you at the drive on Sunday.
Yep.
Thank you. And I want to hope that when the Ambazonia Calling is back, it will get on ABC. Because I think it needs to be on ABC. It gives more strength. Visuals gives a lot of strength to whatever is produced, and I want to believe that you will, when you are ready to get back, you put together your team and let's get it on ABC. People have been asking me, why should Ntumfoin not get a show on ABC? And I've told them, I have spoken to him already, he is preparing to come. So I hope that is still in the pipeline.
You know, the only thing you know for sure is yesterday. Everything else is in the hands of God, and he leads you wherever he wants, and you obey by like a child of God.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you again. Good night, sir.
I look forward to seeing you. Good night, my brother. And good night to you on Ground Zero. Continue to keep the faith, the resilience. Continue to fight. Ambazonia is a reality already. Look to the women of Kumba and please join them. If you hear that there's trouble in the next door town, in the next door county, in the next door state, that is also your trouble. Please make very good trouble. There's a U.S. citizen who just died recently, the Honorable Lewis, who said, make good trouble permanently. People of Ambazonia, please make good trouble on a permanent basis until you get to Boya.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. You have a great night.
Good night.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to spend a few more minutes here to take your phone calls. Please, I need 5 Ambazonians, just 5 Ambazonians today, who will call in now. Call in now on the number you find on your screen to make a generous donation to ABC. I think I got a donation call of 200 euros, 200 euros from, I think that was Belgium. I think so. I think that's Belgium. Yes, 200 from Gang Peter. I think so. Gang Peter. He doesn't mind me calling the name. So we got that donation from Europe, $200. I want to appreciate you, sir. I really appreciate your generosity. You will get the payment information later. But please, if you are in the USA, please call that number. Do not say you are a fan of ABC, you like ABC, you support ABC, and you cannot put in something at this moment to demonstrate your love and support of ABC. We know there are business Ambazonians out here who can sacrifice $1,000 for ABC. Please call that number or send me a message on that same number. If you don't want your name to be announced, just let me know in the message that you do not need your name announced. But if you don't care your name being announced, call that number and make that donation right now before I call it a day. So please go ahead. The phone lines are open. Call that number on your screen. I realize that every time we come on, we're talking about money. People just get, I don't know what to say, but it's not the right thing. If we enjoy it, let us get it running. So call the number, please. Call the number and make your donation. Let me get this caller from ground zero. Hello.
Hello?
Can you turn down the volume of your TV before you go ahead with the talking, please?
Yes, it's down.
Okay, so are you calling to make a donation for ABC?
I want just to give an update what is happening in Belo since yesterday.
Okay, what is happening in Belo, sir?
Yeah, the military yesterday at 2 a.m. in the morning surrounded the burial area to get the boys.
Okay.
So at about 6 a.m., they captured 2 civilians and murdered them. Then they approached the camp at about. The boys had to release the Kiangas.
Yeah, the Kangas.
8 of them in number.
Right.
8 of them in number. They retreated, and one of them later said they have killed 2 militaries and so many casualties. They cannot actually say who will survive and who will not.
Okay.
As of now,
how many in Kangi were released?
8 in number out of 20.
8 out of 20.
Yes.
And so they are getting reports that so many casualties among the military.
Among the military, all this information I've gotten from a colleague who I am teaching with the wife.
Okay.
So the husband was on ground and calling back the home. That's why I had to got this information, Mr. Christ.
Okay.
So it's important I tell you that Belo is in hot fire. We need to pray. They came in about 20 blocks.
Now, Belo is a county, am I correct?
Yes.
So, what town would we say precisely this fighting is going on?
In Boyo County.
Yes, Boyo County.
Belo,
What town?
In Belo, LGA.
Okay.
There is a village called Abo.
Uh-huh.
But they have surrounded that village entirely, all in all the routes entering the place. Like the person who later called before
Hello?
calling said they came through the outlets that were entering that village. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Are you getting me?
I'm getting you. Go on.
Yes, I'm saying that they took all the outlets from Belo, the military has occupied them and came through to surround them, but our boys were brave enough to release the Kiangers and they never went off without something.
Right.
So we learned that we cannot determine the number, but from what the guys released, 2 of them were killed on spot and many casualties as of now, but they have not left the place. But what we have learned now at about 7 p.m. in the evening, they are on ground and they are burning houses.
The soldiers are burning houses in Belo.
Yes, homes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we know, did you say there are 2 civilian casualties?
Yes.
Okay.
And they caught a group of people, about 9 of them, and tied. Civilians, not the boys.
Yes. So they caught 9 civilians and tied them what? To a tree, to what?
Just as a bundle and put on a square.
Oh, they joined them, tied them together, put on the square.
Yes, on the square.
I wish we can have.
Retreated from where.
Yes, go on.
Yes, they retreated when the guys released those Kiangers. They retreated.
Okay.
From information we're getting from. Yes. So they have not made any advances as of now, as we are speaking. I just wanted you to know this piece of information.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the call. I hope that everybody there remains safe. Please let me know. Let me know what is going on as the days go by. Okay.
Okay, I will call you. I will inform you. I will keep you updated.
Thank you, sir. God bless. Okay, that was from Belo. Let me take this. I hope this is a donation coming from London. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Chris. It's Florence on the line, the defense chief for Unicom.
Defense chief for Inginicom. It's a lady. I never knew that.
Yeah, Unicom LGA.
Okay, so this is happening in your county, right? Belo is in your domain.
Belo is one of the LGAs of Boyo.
Wait,
actually.
Tell me, which is Belo not the name of the county?
No, Belo is one of the LGAs.
What is the name?
Boyo.
What is the name of the county?
Boyo.
Boyo. Okay, I was confusing between Boyo and Belo. That's why I kept asking that caller about Belo. Okay, I get it now. So yes, tell us what is going on.
Yeah, the attack is the whole of Boyo, exempt Boom, which is a bit far away. They attacked Fundong as well. They attacked Boyo on different fronts. We don't know how many fronts exactly they were, but we have Abu and Abo, which each of these places have camps.
Okay.
So they attacked Abu this morning, which is in Fundong, and our boys were taken by surprise. They retreated. 1 civilian was wounded, and 3 of our boys were down at Fundong.
Oh my! 3 of our boys were down.
Unicom, one of our boys down. Most of our boys retreated. They burned a house in Unicom. We don't know actually how many. And then now, it's like at that time they were also attacking Abo, which is Belo. Yes, and the Mbingo hospital is full of military positioned on every angle, so that our boys will not be able to come to the hospital if they are wounded.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Boyo is under serious attack. It's not only Belo.
Now,
That's what I wanted to
it is
correct.
very, very important we emphasize this, that our boys should not go to Mbingo Hospital because the hospital has been militarized, waiting for the boys to be brought there. So please, and even if you are not a fighter and you are a young man, I want to believe you don't want to go to Mbingo Hospital because they will take you for an Amba fighter and they may just kill you there.
Yeah, so we just want to advise the other counties around to be careful because the attack can repeat itself. We don't know for how long they are going to be in Boyo, but we are praying and we will see what we can do. Probably if we need support, we will receive support and advice from anybody who can help.
Why do you think they move into Boyo this time in their numbers and in every county? I mean, it's not, they don't do that regularly for Boyo.
I think because we got a lot of black legs and they are trying to break us down. But unfortunately for them, we are not going to be broken down. We will teach them a lesson.
Okay, all right, Florence, thanks for that.
Black legs and yeah, thank you.
Thanks for the call. We appreciate that. Please keep me informed of what is going on there, if any new developments.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that is again from Boyo, ladies and gentlemen. A lot is going on there. A lot is going on in Boyo, and I'm also getting this information that the military is on their way to Mato. The military is on their way. La Republic military is on its way to Mato, and the restoration fighters should take particular note. Hello, sir. Hello.
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 Hello. Yes.
Hello. Can you turn down the
Yes,
volume of your
Central
TV? Can you
Chairman
turn down the volume of your TV? Focus on your phone, please.
Okay. Put down the volume of your TV. Hello. Yes. Oh, my colleague.
Please, there is a lot of echo from your background. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've always warned that before you call, turn down the volume of your set. Turn down the volume of your set before you call. Ladies and gentlemen, I am still waiting for Ambazonians out there who will call through this number you see on your screen to make a $1,000 donation, a $1,000 donation for ABC. So please call that number on the screen and celebrate ABC 2 years anniversary. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, hello. Yeah, it's the local government chairman. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Are you getting me right now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, are you getting me?
Yes,
okay,
go on.
Yeah, the local government chairman for Kondo. Yeah, yes, I want to give you this update. You know, Benda was all totally bent down, and some old women were bent, and some young youths were killed, blind men were killed.
Hold on. You are calling from Ekondo Titi?
Yes, the local government chairman from Ekondo Titi, sir.
Okay.
So I am giving you this update. What happened? Yeah. What happened at Big Bandy?
And
so
when did this happen?
Information I've just. Yes, it's 2018. Just that there was no way for us to communicate to because of network situation.
Did you say 2018?
So you know, in our Yes, this information never got to you people, and so I kept on, trying to look for a network so that I can connect to you, but to no avail. Up to now, right now, I am up here where I'm calling. I'm calling from Konye, because this is the area where network used to be very tough too, and so today I'm fortunate to get in touch with you. So that is the information that went on there. Then right now at Kondo Titi, the situation there is just that we need weapons like sniper, because we get sniper will be able to track down La Republic, because we see them, they don't see us. So if the interim government do something, they should make sure that there are snipers, because right now as I'm talking, I can see the terrorist La Republic military somewhere, but they cannot see me, and I can take them by surprise with a sniper than an AK.
I thought you said you are the local government chairman for Kondo Titi.
Yes, I do.
You are based on Ground Zero?
Yes, I'm from Ground Zero.
So why not lay this complaint to the people in your county, because they should be in the position to help?
Yeah, it's due to inconveniences of networks, because we are all, all of us are in the bushes, and we cannot have access to come to town, even to watch the program from ABC, because La Republic terrorists are always storming our areas, destroying all these things, and they don't want to see us. Like when you are a local government chairman, you are somebody who cannot even be seen anyhow by even some your people around, because there are so many black legs who may easily report you to the terrorist military of La Republic. So we are doing this all in our hidings.
Have you communicated this need to the diaspora county administrators?
Sir, to get to them is very difficult. Can you do me that favor? That is the only way we are fortunate to get to you like this. Then you speculate the information to the authority that need.
Okay, you text me your name and your number, and I will get to your county administrators here in the diaspora.
No, texting you, I may not have this thing, network. It's just fluctuating, so I can give you right now.
No, I cannot take it. I cannot take it right now. If you can call me right now, that means you have network to send me a message, right?
Oh yes, but it's difficult. Very soon the network will disappear. If I send, it may not get to you.
Okay, I'm going to drop. Listen, I'm on live television. I cannot take it. I will drop the call and you text me the information, okay?
Well, if I will text you the information, if it goes therefore,
if your call can come through, then your message should come through. All right. Thanks for the call. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that is it for the day. We're going to call it a day. If you are not able to call to make a contribution right now, you can also text me with the phone number, the WhatsApp number you find on your screen. These donations, we're expecting them through the week. And I also want to say that if you want to donate, make a one-time donation of less than 1,000 or even over 1,000, you can still go to ABC website. You can find the information on your screen, abcambertv.org. Click on the donation button. To make your donation. Also, if you are in the UK, you are in Europe, you are in the USA, you are in Canada, you can call any of the numbers on your screen to make you can call one of those numbers to be supported, to donate, or to register to become an ABC Club member. So those numbers you find on your screen, please call them and get support. Call them and get support to donate for ABC. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a great pleasure being with you. I look forward to seeing you on Friday, with another big panel, on Friday. And as I said from the beginning, I got a big, big announcement to make, not about ABC, not about the struggle either, but a very, very important announcement I will be making next week. Until then, God bless you all, and good night.
Stop now. Stop.